Yes, sir. We're back. I told y'all I wasn't gonna leave y'all long. I said I was gonna be consistent. Y'all better believe it. It's the Otaku Village Podcast, baby. And it's your boy Schwag, your host. Why am I dancing right now? If you're watching the video version, it's on YouTube. Schwag gave me the music. And you see how happy I am. If you're listening on Spotify, Otaku Village Podcast on Spotify, you're not seeing me dancing right now. Why am I dancing? It's because I'm wearing this Carolina sweater. Carolina Panthers, baby. We beat them Dirty Birds last Sunday, baby. 30-0. We turned them boys into the Dirty Birds. All right, hold on. Let me stop vibing. Hold on, let me vibe a little more. Ooh. Okay, all right. Let me cut it out, y'all. Let me cut it out again. It is the Otaku Village Podcast. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Schwag, and like I said, I was feeling myself a little bit right there because look, last Sunday we put the BTA on the Atlanta Falcons. The Carolina Panthers is my squad. I will proudly rep them. It hasn't been the same since the Cam Newton days, but it is fine. It's been 10 years since 2015's magical run to the Super Bowl, in which we lost. We did. We lost, and that's fine. That's cool, but it's okay. It's okay. On to the next day. On to the next week. So there's that. Here we are once again. I told y'all I was going to be a little more consistent. And by the way, again, if y'all listened last week, that beat was AI. Ooh. ChatGPT with this shit, y'all. Sorry. Look, I told y'all ChatGPT going to make me rich now. I'm going to be a millionaire. I swear. I mean, legally. But it's going to make me rich, dog. Anyway, I'm joking. So here we are. Another episode of the Otaku Village Podcast. I appreciate everybody for being here. Last week we talked top 5 PlayStation games, PlayStation 1 games to me, based on a top 20 all-time selling list for PlayStation 1 games, and I'm still weirdly surprised that Gran Turismo was number 1, but I'm also not surprised at the same time. It's still a very much so popular game, and they did announce a new update to their newest installment of Gran Turismo coming out later this year, which we will talk about, not specifically Gran Turismo, but they made the announcement at the State of Play. I believe it was on September 24th. Yeah, September 24th. We'll get into that amongst other things. So let me do the proper intro. What's up? It's your boy Big Schwag in the building. Here we are, the Otaku Village Podcast, where we talk, anime, gaming, sports, music, anything. We're all over the place because that's the type of person I am. I'm assuming there's other people like that out there as well. I cannot just assume that I am the only unique little unicorn out here. Let's all be a happy pack of unicorns. I don't know what a group of unicorns is called. I don't know. There's a word for it. I'm pretty sure there's a word for it. So today we're gonna talk about movie stuff. We're gonna talk about gaming stuff, as far as like the State of Play and other things. We're gonna get into a little bit of sports and celebrity tea, specifically relationship stuff. I know y'all are in relationships out there. We're gonna get into it, of course, and then we're going to talk, excuse me, and then we're going to do a little fun little anime thing. We're going to talk about anime worlds and how well we would survive in them. All right, so, sorry. Voice a little scratchy, changing the weather, but we're going to get through it with a little bit of tea, of course. And here we go. Well, before we start, video version, YouTube, Schwag Gaming and Music, Spotify for the audio version. Like, share, subscribe so I can do this more consistently. Okay. Look, I started this podcast in 2019. This is only episode, I think, 12. All right. We gotta do better. And I'm gonna do better. And it's up to you. Like it, subscribe, share, tell other people, be like, hey, this is a podcast that I started listening to. There's a podcast that I started watching. I don't know this guy, but he be talking. So let's get into it. I want to start out by talking about the movie that just dropped recently. Him, starring Marlon Wayans. So I want to preface this by saying that I didn't watch the movie, but I heard a lot of people talk about it. I don't mind spoilers for this movie at all. It's about it's a sports horror story about a QB who trains with a legendary quarterback. The legendary quarterback being Marlon Wayans, Tyreek Withers being that young quarterback. Things go a little left. Um, Rotten Tomatoes started out giving it like not so great reviews, and I always take Rotten Tomatoes movies, critiques, reviews with a grain of salt because sometimes those guys are paid. Sometimes those guys are paid to give an opinion, and it's not the most genuine. So I usually typically go into a movie like, all right, let me give my own critique. Let me go into it with fresh eyes, with fresh mind, no outside influences. But yeah, the critiques already started out kind of bad, and then the movie rolled out. I think it only had like a $12 or $13 million opening domestically, if I'm not mistaken. Which they only had a $27 million budget, so they made like half of their budget back. Which whether it's what do you think? Do you think it's a W? Do you think it's a L? A win or loss? What do y'all think? Like if they had a $27 million budget, only opened up to 12, 13. I felt like there was a lot of hype around this movie, right? And I kept seeing trailers, posters, think pieces. And the only reason why, well, not the only, but a big reason why that there was a lot of hype around the movie was because Jordan Peele was definitely attached to it. So I wanted to speak on this real quick because I wanted to get y'all opinion and hear what, know what y'all think about like when they add certain names to movies. Right? When you see that a project is being produced, it wasn't directed, it was produced by Jordan Peele, right? When you hear that, do you automatically think it's going to be a banger? Because he has, other movies like Get Out, Us, Nope, which has done really well for him, right? So then when you see this new showing and you see Marlon Wayans as one of the stars and Tyreek Withers, he has some acting credits. Not too many that's notable. The most recent thing that I remember him being in was Atlanta on FX. This is a Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino show that ran for I want to say 4 seasons. His show was, I only got to see a little bit of his acting chops, but Marlon is very diverse in his way where he can do comedic stuff where he's mostly known for, and he has done some serious roles. But when you see Jordan Peele's name attached to a project, do you automatically think it's going to be a banger? Does it look bad when the movie doesn't produce as much money as you feel like it should have? What does this do for Jordan Peele projects moving forward? Right. I really expected more. A lot of people said the ending was kind of weird, but I don't know if that was I don't know if the movie was a product of the direction or the product of Jordan Peele's influence. It definitely made me back up a little bit and say, like, do I really want to go to the theaters and watch this movie? So I guess that's also, something I want to know from y'all. Is this a movie, if you haven't seen it, are you like, do you want to go to the theaters and watch it because Jordan Peele's name is on it? Or do you want to wait until it comes to streaming because you've heard the reviews or you've, heard people talking about it or seen some takes? I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not rushing to see a movie in the theaters right now. Last movie that I saw in theaters was Sinners, and that was amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. They're the super team right now as far as movies go. They're the super team. Remember how Spike Lee and Denzel Washington, they did their thing. They just released the movie. It was like limited release in theaters, and then it was put on Apple TV, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me for not knowing the name of the movie at the moment. It's let's see, Denzel, Spike Lee. I think it's called, what is it called? It's the Highest to Lowest. Yeah, Highest to Lowest. ASAP Rocky was also in that movie. I haven't seen that one yet. That's a movie that I do have my eye on. So definitely something that I want to check out. But I speak on this movie, him and Jordan Peele and his influence, because I want to jump into my next topic real quick. Boy, I'm quick hitting topics. Kojima. Hideo Kojima, which we know for Metal Gear Solid fame, he premiered a project called OD back in 2023 at the Game Awards. It was December 2023, the Game Awards. He's like, hey, I got this new project or whatever, because I guess he's not working on Metal Gear Solid anymore, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. So he's off doing his own thing. He did Death Stranding, which was like this whole cinematic effort, and that's what we know Kojima for, is if you're in the gaming world. If you know Kojima, it's like very cinematic games, a lot of storytelling, so much so that, oh my god, bro, cutscenes be like 20 minutes long. I'm sitting there, I got the controller in hand, I'm chilling, controller in hand, and I'm watching the cutscene, and then the cutscene be over. And I'm like, oh, shit, okay. Oh, I was playing a game. Like, that's how long the cutscenes are. Like, you just be sitting there. Like, I remember Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 2. I'm sitting there watching a cutscene. And then the game started, like, oh, shit. Like, you got, like, fam. Like, you can't just make a mini movie in the middle of a game, fam. Like, come on. But that's what it was like. So yeah, definitely no Kojima for that. So he comes out at the Game Awards. He's a very polarizing, popular figure at the Game Awards. People are always happy to see him. And then he's like, hey y'all, check this out. Hey, check this out. And then boom, Jordan Peele pops on the stage, and everybody's like, whoa. So Jordan Peele pops out on the stage. And everybody's excited. It's like a Kojima Jordan Peele project is about to be crazy, because it is a horror game. It is a horror game called OD. New information reveals that it's going to be an anthology style project, apparently with other filmmakers, which, I mean, I guess it's going to be like one section of a game, then another section of a game, and then another section of a game, as if like, you know, like a movie, like, or like a, you know, like a series, like where I can't remember some anthology style series, anthology style series. Let's see some anthology style series. But yep, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Why? I'm drawing a blank. I need to stop doing this early in the morning. Like Black Mirror, Love, Death, and Robots are like two of my favorite anthology style. Yeah, Black Mirror and Love, Death, and Robots are like two of my favorite anthology series. So like, yeah, it's like different stories or whatever in the same package or whatever. So the trailer, they released in like a mini trailer back when, but then they just dropped one this week, OD Knock, which is, I guess, Kojima's segment of the game, which I guess like for each segment, it's gonna explore the filmmaker or the person's like fear or whatever, where Kojima, I think he said it in a broad way, like it's like his fear of like knocking or strange like unknown knocks at doors and stuff like that. Which, hey man, if you just chilling and you're not expecting it and there's a knock on the door, fam, stop. You could ring my doorbell and it was like, oh shit, like I could get a joke like, oh, I didn't expect that. But if you knock on my door and I'm not expecting it, bro, I'm like, I ain't answering. I promise you, if you knock on my door and I'm not expecting you to come over, 9 times out of 10, I'm not answering it. I'm not even getting up out the seat to see who it is. I don't care. If I didn't expect you to come over, and that's probably just the black in me. That's not even the paranoia in me. That's just the black in me. If you don't tell me when you coming over and you pop up and knock on my door, I'm going to leave you where you at. Keep that a man. Stop playing with me. But yeah, so OD is an anthology style project with other filmmakers. The trailer starred Sophia Lillis. If y'all know Sophia Lillis, she's in the new remake of It and It 2. The trailer, they use a photo reel like Unreal Engine 5 detail candlelit room. It like very eerie, very odd. There was like a ritual type thing going on, and then like during the trailer, you can hear a knock at the door, and it's just like. Why is he knocking? Again, you knocking. I'm like, oh, I don't want to know. The trailer was definitely creepy. It was interesting. But one of the things that I noticed was during the credits, Jordan Peele's name was not included in the credits. right? Whether it be the trailer title or like in the description, anything like that. Jordan Peele's name was not in it. And I two things came to my mind. Was it okay because that it wasn't Jordan Peele's segment, right? Because, like I said, this is an anthology style project. So was it his name not in the credits because it was, okay, it's purely like, hey, this is Kojima's segment right here. So we're only going to talk about Kojima, Sophia Lillis, who is the main person in the trailer. Or was his name not included because of the recent situation or the recent, the recent rollout of the movie Him, where we add his name as a producer and we put it out there. Jordan Peele, produced by Jordan Peele, produced by Jordan Peele. And we're all looking at it like, okay, yeah, Jordan Peele film. Like, this is amazing, but it's not a Jordan Peele film. He just produced it. So we're like, oh my God, it's going to be great. So was his name not included because it was like, all right, well, Him didn't really perform well. Are we going to put his name out there like that to promote and push this project? Or are we going to keep it away? Are we going to not include it, not remove it, but not include it on this one because we're like, we see that like putting his name on something isn't going to give us the desired effect, especially with what's going on right now. Y'all let me know. But Kojima did state that Peele does, he will be involved in the game. He will handle a different kind of fear in his own segment. I really hope, I promise you, I hope it's something black. I need it to be something black. It probably won't be, but I need it to be a black fear. I want it to be a black fear so bad. What's a black fear? I don't know. White women. That's a black fear. It's funny. It's like a gift and a curse. No, but seriously. What? I don't know. What's also a black fear? I don't know. Y'all gotta let me know, man. Y'all gotta anything that anything a nigga can be like, that's how you know. Like when we look at it and we're like, or oh hell no. Nah. Anything that we can look at and do that's the one right there. When we can look at it and be like, oh hell no. Nah. That's the one. That's a black fear right there. That's a concrete black fear. We can look at it and say, hell no. So it'd be that would be the title of Jordan Peele's segment. OD, hell no. Oh man. But y'all let me know what y'all think about, adding certain names to projects for promotional push. Like, do you think it's necessary? Do you think it's not working as well, excuse me? Y'all let me know what y'all think. So since we're talking about gaming stuff, let me give you some tea. I gotta drink that tea. I shouldn't be drinking. I need green tea. I'm drinking like regular sweet tea. I need green tea in my life. Personally, because I don't do a lot of caffeine. I really do next to no caffeine, to be quite real with you. And you know what I'm saying? Like sweet tea has some caffeine in it. I need to switch up to green tea because I'm more worried about my gut health nowadays. You know what I'm saying? My overall gut health. Right? Because if something's wrong with your stomach, it could mess with your entire system. Like not in your stomach, but like when I say gut, like your stomach, like all this, like your pancreas, your kidneys, your gallbladders, all that. If something's wrong, and I'm older, I got to think about these things now. I have to think about these things, right? I do. I'm older now. I have to. I can't bounce back as quick as everybody else. All right. When I roll out of bed, I make noise. I'm like, I make all the old people noises when I roll out of bed now. Okay. I gotta like I move around in the bed to make sure things are working before I get up. All right. This is just my life now. This is just my life. It is what it is. Don't judge me or make fun of me, please. All right. So since we've been talking about gaming, we're gonna move on to some more gaming stuff. PlayStation just dropped their state of play. I'm not gonna lie, I was not checking for it. I wasn't. I didn't know. I did not know. September 24th, Sony gave us a state of play, gave us some gameplay, gave us some release windows. So let's talk about some quick facts. Let's give y'all some synopsises. Let's do that. So again, wasn't checking for it. It dropped. I sat down. I watched it. There was a lot of stuff I didn't really care for. I'm not going to hold you. But I wanted to talk about a few things that I saw that caught my eye. All right. They opened up with a trailer for a game called Sorrows, which has a release date of March 20, 2026. Is an atmospheric PS5 like it's a roguelike. Which roguelikes for some reason have become my thing. And it started with Balatro. A simple car game. Started with Balatro, and I was like, oh my God, do I like roguelikes? And if y'all don't know what a roguelike is, it's basically a game that has a playthrough that doesn't have the same playthrough if you play it through again. Right? So it's different playthroughs. So like if you get these abilities as one playthrough, you'll get different abilities the next playthrough, right? And you know what I'm saying? If you get these bosses or these enemies, like it's different every time, right? You won't get the same playthrough. And I like that. I like that because it makes me think about what my next move is every time. So it started with Balatro and then it moved on to Void Breaker. And then I played another game. I think it's called like King's Gamble or something like that. I can't remember what the game was called. But like, yeah, I went down like a weird roguelike rabbit hole. Y'all let me know some like other roguelike games that y'all enjoy because I want to get into it. Like I started getting like roguelike playthroughs on my YouTube like recommended, and I was like, yo, they really know that I'm really effing with roguelikes. It stopped showing me Balatro on my recommended, which I'm a little sad about because I did kind of stop playing Balatro. I've been so busy. Balatro was like my decompression game. I'm not gonna hold you. It was my decompression game. I get off work, I chill for a second, then I play Balatro for like an hour, and then I hop off. Those were good times. I'm not gonna hold you. Good times. But Sorrows from Housemarque. It's actually a spiritual successor of Returnal, which was, I think it was almost like a launch title for PS5. If it wasn't a launch title, it was close to it. It was close to a launch title for PS5. But that was also a roguelike. And when you watch the gameplay for Sorrows, it definitely looks and feels like a roguelike game. It's a bunch of abilities being thrown all over the place, different enemies being thrown at you. Decent little adventure game. Excuse me. The state of play gameplay trailer features actor Rahul Kohli's likeness, voice in the reveal material. I don't know if y'all know him. If I'm gonna give y'all a better idea of who he is, I can't really think off top of like what he was in. He was in iZombie. That's the only thing that I can remember him from was iZombie and the Haunting of Hill House. That's the only thing that I can remember him from, honestly. If you see his face, you know what I'm talking about. And I don't even know if I said his name correctly, but yeah. So it's like it mixes roguelike loops, long-term upgrades. That's the thing. These upgrades stick. And that's the thing about like some roguelikes is like some of the upgrades are kind of like temporary. They don't last. They only last for like a round or something like that. But these are like upgrades that stick. Like Void Breaker is also like that. You get a Void Break, or I'm sorry, you get an upgrade. Like you keep that upgrade moving forward. This is that. So yeah, Sorrows that was the trailer they opened with. They went into it. Yeah, it looks beautiful, but whether it'll be a story that I want to stick with, we'll have to find out as more details come out. Like I said, March 20 and 2026. The second thing that I want to make of note in the state of play was I was watching it and I was like, this bet not be. I saw planes flying around. I saw helicopters. I saw jets. I saw commercial airlines. And I was like, this bet not be. And then the final frame of that, one of the final frames of the trailer, it said XB1. And I said, this bet not be. And it was. Microsoft Flight Simulator is coming to PlayStation 5. It's a 2024 edition, though. It drops December 8, 2025. It's a hyper-realistic flight simulator that was on Xbox, and it gets a PS5 release. Look, for those who really like that game, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It uses real-world data power in its simulation. So, like, what's going on, like, weather, all that, like, live weather. So, like, what's going on is what, like, in Australia is what's going on in Australia. So, like, you know what I'm saying? You really flying through it. And as a person who used to forecast weather, I think that's impressive. I do think that's impressive. Right? They use Bing Maps and Azure Cloud technology to generate parts of the planet, which is cool. I think that's cool. And it'll also have PSVR 2 support, which I think is also cool. I don't know how it's going to be in it. Like, are you going to be in the cockpit? Are you actually going to be in the seat flying the plane? That would be cool. Not going to hold you. That would actually be kind of cool. But here's my thing. What's exclusive anymore? What is exclusive anymore? A lot, even when you watch like the Xbox game show or the state of play, whatever, like when you watch those things, something like it'll be like, here's this game, but it's also coming out on Xbox. What's exclusive anymore? There's not a lot of reasons to stick with one system. Like for me, for example, I have PlayStation 5, I have PC, I have Xbox. Via the PC, I have Xbox or whatever, but not Xbox per se. But like I have Xbox or whatever. So I bounce back and forth. Like there are games I'm like, oh, okay, I can play this on PlayStation. There are games I'm like, okay, I'm going on Steam. There are games I'm like, all right, I can go on Xbox. It's just like there's so many options nowadays, and a lot of them are like running into each other. It's like, what's the point of just getting one? Because you're gonna or that could be the reason you just get one, because you're like, oh well, Xbox gonna bring it over to PlayStation anyway, and vice versa. So it's like, I have all three because there are some exclusive titles, but like if you wanted to stick with one console or just PC, you could realistically do that. You could realistically just stick with PC. Honestly, you could just realistically just stay PC. You could. Everything's going to PC anyway. You could, and this is not me advocating to be a PC player. You know, I for a long time was like, I don't give a damn about playing on PC, but then I ended up doing it, and there we have it. Now I'm PC gaming. Hey, look, it's fun. I love it. It's fun. I'm on Twitch, Schwag Music. All right. So what's exclusive nowadays? Next game I want to talk about, Battlefield 6 by EA Dice. The release date is October 10th of 2025. That is like 2 weeks away, ladies and gentlemen. If y'all got y'all handy dandy calendars, that's 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away. Cinematic trailer. They dropped that AAA title. They gotta let you know it's a AAA title. They had a open beta. I think it was last month. Excuse me. Something in my throat. Sorry. Y'all ever get that like annoying hair in the back of y'all throat? Weird. Okay. Sorry about that. They gotta let y'all know it's a AAA title, right? They ran an open beta. I want to say it was last month, if I'm not mistaken, as a part of the build-up. Bro, a lot of people were on there. So much so that there was like a wait time. Like when you try to jump in, it was like, hey, we gotta wait. Y'all gotta wait in line, bro. Y'all got to wait in line. If y'all never played Battlefield before, large scale battles. It's got near future combat or whatever. Small squads, big teams. I did have a couple complaints in that beta. Some of the weapons that should have hit a little harder than they were supposed to did not, and it definitely was a cause for frustration. I feel like if I throw a damn rocket at you, you should automatically die. But that's just me. Whatever. But yeah, that's dropping in 2 weeks. If all the Battlefield fans are in here right now, this is your chance. And of course, y'all know Black Ops 7 is dropping later on. I want to say shortly after that. So pick and choose. If y'all want to get both, do that. That's up to you. Halloween, the game from Ilphonic and Gun Interactive. It's from the same folk, the same developers of the Friday the 13th joint. So if you like those type of games, then yeah, go ahead. It's an asymmetrical horror set in Haddonfield, where you either play as Michael Myers or survive as a civilian. They had a gameplay trailer at State of Play. Like I said, if you like those Friday the 13th type games, the Dead by Daylights, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre type games, this is a game for you. They gave Michael Myers like instant transmission. For all you Dragon Ball fans, it's like basically like you just pop into, like, you're just going from one place to another in an instant. Like that's what like horror movie like villains do. Like they're just like, I pop up here, I pop up there. So yeah, if you're like me, like I was just like, I only bring it up. They're dropping it September 8th of 2026, by the way, which I think is a huge stupid ball drop. a huge stupid. Look, can I tell y'all why? Let me tell y'all why this is a huge stupid ball drop for me. Okay, I'm gonna hold up. Let me look at something real quick. I'm gonna move forward to next year. I'm gonna move absolutely forward to next year. Literally, Halloween 2026 is on a Saturday, right? It's on a Saturday, and y'all telling me y'all didn't want to drop this shit on Halloween next year, which was been like, or like on the 30th, Friday. Y'all didn't want to drop it on the 30th of next. Y'all waited September 8th, a game called Halloween. Y'all not dropping on Halloween weekend. Literally, Halloween weekend is on a Friday. The same developers of Friday the 13th. Bro, again, hold up. I want to make sure I'm not crazy. I honestly want to make sure I'm not crazy on this one for being like, why didn't y'all do this? And like, what? Like, seriously, yeah, Halloween weekend is. Y'all really dropped the ball on that one. Y'all really dropped the ball. Y'all could have really dropped that game on Halloween next year. Or on Halloween. The 30th is on a Friday. October 30th is on a Friday. Whatever. John Carpenter, for those, you know what I'm saying, who are into the Halloween lore, he is a part of the project in an exec / creative capacity. So the game does lean, into the film and the score of the movie, so that's pretty interesting. He's there because they really wanted to give it the Haddonfield and Carpenter vibe. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to authentically make it like a Halloween movie, which I think I've only seen like 2. I'm not gonna hold you. I think that's the Jamie Lee Curtis films, if I'm not mistaken. And by the way, Jamie Lee Curtis, what was it, last month, got a lot of attention, which was interesting. It was funny. But it was funny for me personally because I literally just last month started and finished the show The Bear, and I looked at Jamie Lee Curtis in a whole new light watching The Bear. I was like, "That she is kind of crazy. She is crazy, rough." And then they drop, was it Freakier Friday? They start promoting Freakier Friday at the same time I'm watching The Bear, and like if y'all have never seen The Bear, like Jamie Lee Curtis is there. She's the main actor's mother. And she's a little unhinged. She's a little unhinged. And so like here I'm looking at her like a crazy woman, and then she pops out with the Freakier Friday promo with the boobies out, and I was like, whoa, wait a whoa, where did this come from? So I digress. Yeah. So Halloween dropping next September. Dumb. All right. For y'all anime fans, Seven Deadly Sins Origins from Netmarble, PS5, dropping January 28, 2026, open world RPG spin in the Seven Deadly Sins universe. You already know how I feel about anime games, bro. If y'all don't, allow me to tell y'all. Nobody other than Dragon Ball makes good anime games. I don't care what y'all talking about. Argue with your mama. No other anime makes good games besides Dragon Ball. So personally, y'all can keep the Seven Deadly Sins game because this is basically gonna be the One Piece open world game all over again. This is basically what this is gonna be. The Seven Deadly Sins game is going to be the One Piece game. And like every time I argue anime games, I keep saying that anime games are just a carbon copy of each other. Carbon copy, cookie cutter copy of each other. Remember Ninja Storm? And then remember when other anime just kept coming out with Ninja Storm type games and Dragon Ball did not? Wait, hold up. Say that. Can I say that again? Remember Ninja Storm? And then remember when every other anime came out with a Ninja Storm type of game and Dragon Ball did not? Yeah, I had to pause for effect on that one. No other anime game is good. I'm going to keep that a ban, and y'all can argue with your mama. If you feel any type of way, y'all let me know. Moving forward, Neo 3, for those who are Team Ninja fans, February 6th, 2026. I've never played Neo. I've seen a lot of gameplay of Neo. I've watched people play Neo. I want to say UTXJG, the Don of Gaming Illuminati. He was a real big fan of Neo, and he did play a few times, and I joined in, or not joined in, but I like popped in on a stream and watched. It's interesting. It's interesting. It's an action RPG series. You can expect some samurai combat with new enemy archetypes and builds. Team Ninja did confirm that during the State of Play, during the State of Play trailer drop, that they had previously listed some hints for a February release. So the February 6th release date that I just said is, it could be speculation, could be, but that's what's listed. That was what was announced. So they might move it. They might move it. Pre-orders did briefly pop up in some regions. So I guess they're prepping for something. They're prepping for something. So yeah, for all those Neo fans, there you go. I'm really only talking about the notable trailers. Only the notable trailers. Everything else was just kind of like meh to me. Right, Crimson Desert by Pearl Abyss, release date March 19, 2026. That was the official reveal at the State of Play. It's an open world action RPG from Pearl Abyss. I don't know if y'all know who Pearl Abyss is, but they're the same people who did, was it like Black Desert Online? I don't know if y'all have ever played. It's the same studio, but apparently this will be a different focus. It's a single player narrative experience. They said it is separate from Black Desert Online, but it does look really good, story-driven, action-adventure with some action combat and exploration. Y'all go ahead and check out that one because Crimson Desert does look good, but will the story hold up? I'm always very curious about new stories, brand new stories that get introduced at these big events because some of them do end up falling on their face, and it is fine. It is fine. It's fine. Fall on your face at first, but get back up. Some of these titles that do fall on their face at first do get revivals later on because people go back and be like, you know what, this game wasn't so bad after all. It happens. So yeah, that's one that I'm gonna have my eye on, see if they have more trailers drop. It's I don't have too much time for a lot of story driven games nowadays. I still need to play South of Midnight. And even I just started like Hollow Knight. So I like South of Midnight, then Hollow Knight. I've got something else. I finished what was that game called? What was that game called? It was the one about the girls that it was like summer. I don't know. I can't remember. That game was boring to me. If y'all remember the title, it was boring to me. But yeah. So if y'all are into story driven games, open world stuff, do it. Marvel's Wolverine. Insomniac Games. That was the only one where I was like, yeah, locked in. Because they did announce the game like a year or two ago or whatever, like a teaser trailer. The release window is fall 2026. I guess that was kind of announced at State of Play. It's a single player third person Wolverine game. Bro, I'm talking about bloody. They gave us the Wolverine we wanted. Insomniac and Marvel was like, oh, we gonna add blood. Wolverine was ripping booties open. I'm talking about in the half, fam. So Wolverine in this game hunts answers about his past across locations like Madripoor and Canada. So like, yeah, they do have Wolverine actually traveling, going across continents and all that good stuff like he does in the comic books, because Wolverine is a well-traveled person if you don't know anything about his lore. So this is a violent game. In the trailer, it did reveal some characters like Mystique, Omega Red, and the Sentinels, which is very interesting. The Sentinels were a very big part of the X-Men, especially like the animated series that I watched as a child, and they did revive. I think that was like, what was it, last year? They brought back, was it X-Men 98, 99, 96, 97? I can't remember. It was sometime. It was the 90s. I don't care. It was something like that. So they, during this trailer, they did show off some of the voice acting cast and the motion capture, which is pretty cool. They got like a whole brand new actor type of deal for Wolverine. looks very convincing as a Wolverine. They showed some of the motion capture that he did. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more from this, being that it is an Insomniac game. And if y'all don't know, Insomniac games are the same people behind Spider-Man. So this will definitely be in a PlayStation exclusive, hopefully, being that it is Insomniac games. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's going to be better or worse than the Spider-Man games. I think it's going to stay in its own lane, being that Wolverine is his own character. And fam, I'm talking about, boy, they were boasting about the violence. They were like, yo, this might be it. This might be it on this violence. I'm happy they gave that to us, especially since we have been asking about it for a while. They teased it. We wanted to know. They gave it to us. Dope. So there was State of Play. That was State of Play. Honestly, I'm not gonna hold y'all. I gave y'all 8 games. They talked about more than 8 games though. They did. They talked about 8 games. There was one game that caught my eye. It was like, there's no parade for dead spies. That was one that did catch my eye. No parade. I think that was called. It was like, there's no parade for dead spies. That was interesting. Y'all go check out that trailer. It is interesting. I don't know if it's my type of vibe. It might be my type of vibe if I actually sit down and play it. But it was a little quirky. Other than that, there was really nothing other notable games for me personally. I think they did like a remaster of Deus Ex Machina, if I'm not mistaken, which I'm like, I didn't ask for it. Whatever. So for me, State of Play was okay at best. It was okay at best. Not my favorite State of Play at all. Not my favorite. I don't think there's been a better State of Play than, like, I want to say the first one. 2020 was a lit State of Play. Like, we never had anything like that before in life. COVID shut everything down. And it was like, I think 2020, like the State of Play and the game show and all that, that was the death of E3. It is definitely the death of E3. When these studios, when Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, like, was especially with Nintendo Direct, when they realized that they could do their own thing without popping out, they don't have to spend no type of money on flights or hotels or anything for these people to show up to events or whatever. They were like, well, we can just do this all in-house. We don't have to pop out. So when all these major people started pulling out of E3, it was like, damn, E3 could have like shifted and did something virtual. They could have, but E3 thrived on like journalists and gamers and critics all coming out to test in these new games and talk to these developers and all that good stuff. And when these people were like, man, we ain't gotta do all that, bro. We ain't gotta do all that, bro. We can just talk to these folks, say what y'all got going on. Hey, bro, y'all wanna premiere with us? What's happening? You ain't gotta do all that. And so E3 wasn't even open to the public until late. That's the crazy thing. I think that's where they effed up. Because they only offered it to like press. They only offered it to like press and special people for a while, and then they finally opened it up. And yeah, it made things a little crowded when they opened it up to everybody. It made it like a convention, basically, like a real convention. When they like actually opened it up. But I think that's where they messed up. Was like, at first they didn't open it up, and then COVID. Of course, COVID like just kind of killed it. So, State of Play. This is not my favorite State of Play, but it had some hits. So we'll have to see moving forward. We will have to see moving forward. All right. So, but 2026 looks like a good year so far for gaming. Looks like gaming is still very much alive and well, whereas people are like, oh, gaming's dead, there's no good games. Shut up. I hate that argument. I hate that take. Shut up. I'm playing a game every day. If I can play a game every day, there's I don't want to hear there's no good games. I need everybody to shut up about it. Like, really shut up about that. All right, moving forward. So I'm going to talk about this real quick, and I'm only going to talk about it for a second because it's like sports related, but it's also relationship related, right? Okay, so Michael Porter Jr., who just signed I want to say like a $200 million deal with the Brooklyn Nets. He was on a podcast. He was on a podcast called Respectfully, hosting Justin LeBoy, and Justin LeBoy brought up the fact that Michael Porter Jr. was splitting half of the rent with his girlfriend, and He was like, hey, whoa. Time out. I am not splitting the rent with my girlfriend. This is what happened. She was looking for a place to stay, right? But the place that she was looking at was over half of her budget. So I agreed I would pay for half of the rent. That's what he said. He said he would pay for half the rent. But if anything happens between us, I will continue to pay for the rest of the year on that lease. They broke up within 5 to 6 months, right? They broke up. And I guess he was like apparently blocked on everything. And then he was like, well, you know, I'm not blocked on everything. Not blocked on everything because she did hit me up asking for the bread. It's like, oh, you're not paying right now. He's like, no. Yeah, she hit me up for the bread. And so Justin the boy's like, hey, why don't you just pay her out? Just give her the rest of the money, boo, boo. He's like, nah, she got to act right month to month to get that bread. And I was like, damn it. So you mean tell me, all right, they break up. You verbally agreed to pay for half of her rent. Y'all broke up. And now you like, hey, man, she going to get that money month to month. Because his thing is like, hey, if you start out, going out here wilding out, acting up, nah. You go get that other dude to pay. You go get that other dude to pay your rent. And I'm like, all right, I get it. Me personally, if I effed up in that relationship, I'm going to pay it out. I'm going to keep it moving. I might be petty about it for a second. That's just me. I'm sorry. I might be petty about it, but I'll give you that money. Pay it off. Cool. Keep it moving. I did say I was going to do it. Keep it moving. But if you effed up, that ain't no month to month nothing. You going to have to figure it out month to month because there ain't no month to month nothing. If you effed up, I first of all, shouldn't have put yourself in that situation, my girl. You shouldn't have put yourself in that situation. Why are you looking for stuff outside your budget? Oh, because you knew you was dating a baller. A hooper. That's why you was looking for apartments outside of your budget because you knew who you was dating. And what did he do? Put on the cape. Oh, yeah, I got you. I'll pay for it. You stupid. Dummy. Nah, you looking for stuff outside your budget. I'm be like, all right, good luck. Ain't no way. And that goes for anybody like me. I'm not going to look for something outside of my budget and then expect for somebody to help me. No, I put myself in that situation. I'm not going to expect for nobody to help me out, not a damn lick. I got to figure that out because I put myself in that situation. But that's just me. So how y'all feel about that? Do you think he should continue to pay? Or do you think that, you know what I'm saying? Or do you need more context? Like what's happening? What do y'all think about that? Relationship-wise. Do y'all think y'all should continue to pay or not? That's up to y'all. All right. Anime folk, I need y'all attention. Right? So I had a simple question, a hypothetical question. I said, let's consider these worlds, right? And I'm just going to speak on these 5 anime. And these 5 anime alone. Attack on Titan, excuse me. I said that wrong. Dragon Ball, One Punch Man, Demon Slayer, and My Hero Academia. Right? These are the 5 anime. Let's consider their worlds. Right? Just think about all of their worlds. Dragon Ball, Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, One Punch Man, and My Hero Academia. Of all of their worlds, right? What could be the worst possible thing that could happen to you as a plain civilian living in those worlds? And what would be your best chance of survival? So you know what I did. I asked the GPTs. What's up, GPTs? I asked them. Or her, whoever. Or it, whatever. They, them, I don't know. I asked. I said, what would it be? So it gave me like a whole thing, right? It gave me a whole thing. So what's the worst thing? Why? Your best chance of a quote unquote normal life and some practical tips. That's what it gave me. I'm gonna get this to you. Out of those 5 anime worlds, I'm gonna get this to you. Okay? because I was curious. I was like, man, if I was just a civilian out here, and this was one of those things. I was just sipping tea. And I was like, you know what? What would be the worst anime world to live in? I don't know. It's 5, right? So when it comes down to Attack on Titan, all right, a wall breach that would put you in the open and leads to you being eaten by a Titan or otherwise killed in chaos. That'd be the worst thing that could happen to you in an Attack on Titan's world, right? And why? Titans turn entire districts into slaughters in minutes. Being outside a well-defended position when the survey corps can't respond equals a near certain death. So now, I'm like, if y'all have never watched any of these anime, yeah, I'm not really spoiling anything. I'm just giving scenarios, hypothetical scenarios on basically what would be the worst thing that could happen to you and your best chance of survival. That's it. So your best chance of a normal life, you would just have to live in the innermost wealthier districts, right? Like Wall Center. Get a stable job in the garrison or as a merchant/support worker and cultivate connections with the military. Practical tips. Avoid traveling outside the walls. I think that it's not just practical. I think that's just common sense. Don't do it. You're just a normie. Don't travel outside the wall. Keep resources in a fortified small shelter if you can. Marry into or find employment with people who can help you inside the innermost districts. Wealth/connections equals safety. So you just have to be a dependent. That's it. You just gotta be a dependent. Just gotta be somebody's military wife or husband. Hey, I'm down with that. I'll take it. Dragon Ball Super, because we're in the Super era now. So Dragon Ball Super. What's the worst thing that can happen? Being at ground zero of a fight involving god-level fighters. A planet-destroying blow from a god of destruction, or being caught when a deity like Zeno erases a region/universe. I never even thought about that, right? Never thought about that. Like, here I am thinking like, man, like you could be in blast radius of a fucking spirit bomb or something like that, right? Like, that's what I was thinking. But I never thought that the worst thing that could happen was literally Zeno could snap my universe away. Never thought about it. I was like, damn, that's actually kind of crazy. Wow. Why? Collateral destruction from fights between superpowered beings can level cities or entire planets instantly. Lots of civilian lives are collateral. There you go. Best chance of a normal life. Just be boring and off the map. That's it. They have like a whole explanation, but it's just like, that's it. That's literally it. Just stay out the way. That's all. That's your best chance of a normal life. Just stay out the way. You don't believe me? Look at Gohan. You saw when he just stayed out the way, nothing happened, right? And then the Dragon Ball Super movie happened, like the most recent one with him and Piccolo, and he got dragged back into it. But remember when he wasn't dragged into it, he was just chilling, doing his job, taking care of his family. He stayed out the way and nothing was happening. He was literally practicing what this thing is preaching. Just be boring and off the map. That's it. And he did that. He gave us the blueprint. He was like, damn, I was getting my ass beat as a kid. Let me just stay out the way. Let me just stay out the way. All right. So practical tips. Keep a capsule or underground shelter if you can afford it. Avoid fame, martial arts tournaments, arenas, and don't live in capitals around known fighter training grounds. Simple enough. Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. Okay, for all you weebs out there. What's the worst thing that could happen? Bit by a zombie. There you go. Or not zombie, demon. I said zombie. Demon. Turn into a demon yourself, losing your humanity, being hunted by demon slayers, or starving eternally. That's literally the worst thing that happen. You turn into a demon. That's it. Why? Because turning is permanent without extraordinary intervention. No spoilers. And demons are bloodthirsty, immortal, unless decapitated, and will consume people. All right. Your best chance of survival, or of a normal life, not a survival, a normal life. Because there's a difference between surviving and thriving. There is a difference because you can survive demon stuff. But are you thriving? Are you just constantly running to the next safe zone? Like there's a difference. Live in a populous daylight lit city or a town that has a functioning guard and daytime commerce. Avoid solitary night travel and befriend local authorities, like the Demon Slayer course. Just stay in the sunlight, stay in well lit areas. Don't go by yourself at night. That's it. Because I mean, like, just assuming if you're just a regular normie, a civilian, you're not experiencing high level demons all the time. There are the low level demons, right? And you get caught out there by yourself, you get caught lacking, and a low level demon jump on your ass. It's up for you. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no stamina, you can't run, if you ain't fight, a low level demon on your ass, bro. That's it. We ain't even talking about the big five, the little big five. We ain't whatever the top 10s, the Muzans. We're not talking about them. The low level demons could be on your ass, bro. We just talking. You're a normie. Low level demons are a threat. You're not in Demon Slayer Corps. You don't know how to use a sword. It's up for you. So just stay out the way. Some practical tips. Don't open doors for strangers at night. I don't open doors for strangers during the day. Keep that a band, so I'll be all right. Don't travel alone after sundown. That's rare for me. I don't even like stopping at gas stations at night to pump gas. What? Unless I need it. What? Just stay in daylight, rich, populated areas. That's it. That's it. That's all. Now we're going to move on to One Punch Man. All right? What's the worst thing? Being trapped in the path of a sudden monster/alien calamity. God level threat, dragon level threats. That destroy infrastructure and cause mass casualties before the heroes can evacuate you. Fair enough. Why? Monster attacks are sudden and it can obliterate neighborhoods. Hero response exists, but it's not guaranteed to save every single civilian hit zone. Fair. That's fair. It's very fair. Very, very fair. Your best chance of a normal life. Live in a small town or a suburb with low monster traffic or somewhere with an active Hero Association branch and clear evacuation protocols. Keep it in reinforced home and follow official evacuation orders. Low profile equals low target priority. I swear this is the most realistic one. This is the most realistic. They just announced that season 3 of One Punch Man is dropping. This is the most practical one. If you got aliens or monsters dropping in, you should have a Hero Association and be like, hey, this is what we do in these situations. And these are the people who are going to help us stop it. It's fair. Practical tips. Don't put yourself in the middle of headlines. Community shelters and early warning networks are your friend. If you can afford it, live where a top hero is stationed. So apparently, like, top heroes are in, like, the wealthier areas. Is that true? I didn't know that. That's something I didn't know. If that's the case, that's crazy. Anyway, we're going to move on to My Hero Academia. All right. So what's the worst thing? Getting caught in large-scale hero-villain battles and suffering severe injury or permanent disability as collateral damage, or being targeted because of your quirk or lack of one makes you vulnerable. Here's the thing. We said we're normies, so we have no quirks in this world. We have not a single damn quirk. So we're out here. We're butt naked. So we're like, if we ain't out the way, we just, it's up for us. Why? Pro heroes and villains fight openly in cities, and fights cause enormous collateral damage. The bigger the villain, the worse the civilian risk. Cool. I get that. Your best chance of the normal life. Live in a hero-protected zone with good civilian defense systems, or work in a quirk-friendly non-combat role. Like, basically, like, a remote business. Like, I guess, like, just work from home, bro. Just work from home, bro. Or work in, like, you know what I'm saying, careers that the society still needs, like engineering, medical, logistics. First of all, no, not working in medical, because then that puts me very much so close to hero stuff, and I'm not trying to be it. But it says stay close to the hero infrastructure. And when I say hero infrastructure, I mean stay close to where heroes can protect you. Practical tips. Register with the local civil defense, learn evacuation routes, live near neighborhoods with strong pro-hero presence, and invest in structural safety or support items if available. But living in neighborhoods with strong pro-hero presence attract fights. If they have pro-hero presence, villains will pop up, but the response will be quicker. Just saying. Out of all 5 of those things, Attack on Titan, Dragon Ball Super, Demon Slayer, One Punch Man, My Hero Academia, what would be the worst world to live in for you? Which one is where you're like, Nah, I can't even do it. I can't even do it. Which one is the worst for you? Just hearing all of those things listed off. Which would be the worst world for you to live in? And if you want, you can pick one out of those, and then you can be like, I got one for you. This world. Throw me an anime where you feel like the world is worse. And like, let's not be obvious, right? Like, Made in Abyss, yeah, that's a crazy world. Like, if you're sent down to the abyss, yeah, it's up for you. Like, it's up for you. You go down there. Like, come on. So yeah, there's obvious ones, of course, but like, yeah. So yeah, y'all let me know in the comment section, and then like I said, pick one, or if you got one for me, go ahead and do that as well. But yeah, I thought that would be a pretty fun one to do, for all y'all anime folk. Yeah, so that brings me to the end of my podcast. Okay, so we talked about the movie Him. We talked about OD Knock. We talked about State of Play, and we gave some release dates. Like I said, they PlayStation on YouTube. They are Sony PlayStation on YouTube. They dropped their State of Play, the full video. I think it's like 40 some odd minutes long. Y'all can go watch it, see every game other than the ones that I listed as well. We talked about the Respectfully podcast with Justin LeBoy, Michael Porter Jr., relationship stuff. And then we did a little fun little anime thing at the end, like a what if hypothetical type of deal. We love anime hypotheticals. We sit and argue all day over anime hypotheticals. And yeah, that's where I'm going to end me podcast. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming to the Otaku Village. If you like the breakdowns, if you like the stuff, if you like the questions, the what ifs, the hypotheticals, let me know what y'all want me to talk about next time. What should I deep dive into next time? And I don't feel like I did a lot of deep diving. I did a lot of talking, and that's what we're here to do. We're just here to talk right here in the Otaku Village. Thank y'all so much, man. Like I said, if y'all want to catch more of this, all y'all got to do is like, share, and subscribe. That's it. If y'all like the podcast, check me out on Spotify. If y'all like the podcast, the video version, check me out, Schwag Gaming and Music. Let me know in the comment section, what more would you like to hear about? If there's some topics that pop up along, saying through the week, talk like, hey, did you see this? Did you hear about this? I'm on Instagram, Schwag Music. Y'all gotta let me know. Y'all gotta let me know what y'all want to hear my thoughts and opinions on, man. We can talk about it. All right. So yeah, that's the end of the Otaku Village podcast. Thank y'all so much for watching or listening. And I appreciate y'all, and I hope to see y'all next time. Thank y'all.